Hi, welcome to Soul Stretch. My name is Dana, and I am the yoga instructor for the Holistic Center for the Soul Stretch class. And I'm excited about this particular class because it is all about coming home to our bodies. And that language can be kind of confusing, but what it means is we are learning to turn our attention back to ourselves, back to our bodies. We can go about our days sometimes so busy and so distracted that we are not really paying attention to ourselves, how we feel, or the physical cues that we might get, such as tensing through our shoulders, grinding our teeth, furrowing our brows. Those are all things that are responses to stress and anxiety and stressful situations. And it happens so passively that we may not even notice it until we're getting up from a night's rest and our shoulder hurts, or we have headaches at the end of the day because we've been holding our shoulders up into our ears and grinding our teeth, and those are just signs that we are not paying attention to our bodies. And so this class is just one to help us be more intentional and think about those little aches and pains that we get, and to slowly work them out. But my hope is that you walk away from this class with a little bit more mindfulness of how you are carrying your body throughout the day. So let's begin by having a comfortable seat. Like I tell you in my other classes, I like to sit on a bolster or a pillow. You can sit on your knees. We are going to be laying down, so just make sure you're sitting up for now. Nice tall spine. Getting into your comfortable seat, we're going to take a few cleansing breaths here. And as we begin our class, I just want you to think about being in your body, feeling your body, feeling your shoulders, feeling your belly rise and fall with each breath, feeling the tension that might be in your hips or your feet. Just paying attention to all of those things, not really judging them or wishing to change them. Just approach them with curiosity. That was one of the things that I started to pay attention when I started my yoga practice. It helped me to realize that I was carrying my body in a way that didn't necessarily serve me. And it was because I approached it with curiosity. Why is one shoulder more tense than the other? Why am I getting these lines in my forehead? Why is one hip a little tighter than the other? Why does one ankle ache a little more than the other? So just approaching your body with curiosity, with no judgment, no wishing that would be any different, but just curiosity. Continue to breathe here. And on our next inhale, we're going to slowly begin to draw circles with our nose. Going one way, allowing our breath to move us slowly around and around. And on your next inhale, slowly go in the other direction. Is there a sticking point in your neck? If there is, just pause there for a moment and try to work it out a little bit. If not, feel free to keep going. Just being mindful of your movement. Coming back to center. On your next inhale, we are going to begin to draw circles with our shoulders, bringing them up and around, drawing them up towards our ears, and then back down and around. Allowing your breath to move you. How does this feel for you? Moving your shoulders. Is there any tension? Are there any sore spots? Does it feel good? Does it feel awkward? And on your next inhale, go the opposite direction. This direction always feels a little more awkward for me than the other. And then pausing for just a moment, taking a few cleansing breaths. How does your neck and shoulders feel now? And then on your next inhale, let's place our left hand down on the mat next to us, and then bring our right hand up overhead, reaching towards the left, really stretching through that right side body, doing our best to lift this rib up to the sky. Inhale and then exhale. Really stretching. How does this feel for you? Is it uncomfortable? Where do you feel the tension? Coming back to center, taking a cleansing breath here, sitting up nice and tall. And then reaching over, inhaling over to our right, really stretching through that left side body. And exhale. How does this side feel for you? Coming back to center. So now that we've loosened, or hopefully have loosened a little bit of the tension in our neck and shoulders and the sides of our body, we are going to come down to our mats. And we're going to do a body scan meditation. So lying down on our mats. First, let's work out a few kinks before we settle into our meditation. Let's bring, on an inhale, our left knee up to our chest, drawing it towards our underarm. Exhaling when we get there to that sticking point. Where do you feel the tension in this pose? Can you breathe freely? If you can't, back off a little bit and settle into it. Find where you can breathe. Let's begin to draw circles. You can make as small circles as feels good for you, or as big as you'd like. And then bring your left leg down, back to your mat. Let's do the same thing on the opposite side, drawing that right knee towards our underarm. Breathing here for just a moment. Finding the point that feels good for you. No sharp pains. Nothing that feels like you're doing damage to the body. We only want to aid the body in healing and in feeling good. Let's begin to draw circles. This side may feel a little different from the other. Remember, approaching this with no judgment about your body, just curiosity. Going the opposite direction. Allowing your body to relax. One thing that I've noticed about my body is when I'm doing things with my lower body, my upper body tends to tense just to stabilize. And so that's curious for me. That's something I like to approach with curiosity. And then figuring out how I can soften a little bit through my upper body when I am working with my lower body. It's all just a question at how you can release tension and breathe freely. Let's begin to settle into our meditation. So lying down flat on your mat, let's begin by wiggling our toes, paying special attention to them. I don't know about you, but I definitely don't pay as much attention to my toes as I'd like. And when they do so much for us, they keep us stable. When we're walking, when we're standing. They're things that we don't pay much attention to, but they do so much for us. And it's a part of your body. So it's good to show gratitude for them. Let's then circle our feet around and around, really loosening up those ankles, going one direction and then the other. Without our ankles, we wouldn't be able to bend our feet, jump. We wouldn't be able to do a lot of things. And then coming to our legs, let's tense those muscles. We could do that by flexing our feet back towards us and then pointing them towards the other direction. Doing our best to point our toes towards us or towards the sky. Tensing our leg muscles, our calves, our thighs, even our glutes. And then going the opposite direction. And then letting all of that tension go in our lower body. Let's then begin rounding our hands, our wrists. You can move the fingers, wiggling them, moving the wrists, giving thanks to our hands and what they do for us. And then we can find a way to tense our arms. You can move them. You can rotate them out to tense and then rotate them in. This should give you some tension from our forearm all the way up to our shoulders. Remembering to breathe, flexing our hands back and forth, and then allowing the tension
to just release from the body. Let's pay special attention to our belly as it rises and falls with each breath. Expanding and then releasing. Our bodies do so much for us. They keep us going. Our breath just automatically works. We don't pay special attention to it. Our body breathes us. And then moving that attention to our heart space, giving thanks for our heart that continues to beat. We don't have to do anything for this gift. It just is. And then moving up to our neck and shoulders once again. Just thinking about creating space, releasing any tension that might be there. And then taking a moment to work out any tension that may be in our jaw. I invite you to massage the sides of your jaw, maybe parting your lips to help release any tension. Really just giving thanks. Yes, we may clench our teeth and it might create tension in our jaw, but there are beautiful things that happen here too. We can share a smile with our friends. We can create big, big smiles full of laughter. And then moving that same gratitude and compassionate touch to our heads. Maybe working into our foreheads as well. I know I carry a lot of tension there. Really just giving thanks. And then taking a moment to just place our hands over our eyes, allowing them to just rest in darkness. Releasing any tension that might sit behind them. And when you are ready, you can bring your arms down next to you, preparing for our final resting pose, shavasana. Taking a moment to just breathe here, giving thanks for your body and all that it does. Coming home to this temple is the most beautiful thing that you can do for yourself. And when you are ready, you can begin to bring movement back to your body. Bringing your feet to your mat and rolling over to one side and resting here for just a moment. Continuing to breathe here. And when you are ready, you can come back up to your seated position. Thank you for tuning into this practice. This is such a beautiful practice to tap into at the start of your day or at the end of your day, especially at the end of your day. Like I said, we often hold tension and we're not really paying attention to how we're holding our bodies throughout the day. And so coming back home to our bodies when we've done so much through our day is just a beautiful way to show compassion and gratefulness to ourselves. There's one thing, and I always like to share something at the end of a class. This is a quote by Rupi Kaur, and it's all about coming home to your body. It was when I stopped searching for home within others and lifted the foundations of home within myself, I found there were no roots more intimate than those between my mind and body that have decided to be whole. So I wanted to share that quote because I feel like it is a beautiful quote to finish this meditation, this class on. Remember to come home to yourself each night. It is a beautiful practice to tap into, and I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you. Love, peace, and namaste.